Hi everyone and welcome to Flash Hobbies. Today we're going to be doing a review and install of the Qyrc 25 kg servo. You can find these servos all over the place, Banggood, Wish, Amazon, but they sell for about 17 to 30 bucks. Just really depends where you get it from. These come with plastic horns, but I don't like these. They don't last very long, especially with as much torque as this is going to put out. So I'm going to use one of these. It's just a metal 25 tooth, which is the standard tooth for the servos. And we're going to install it on this rig. So for the Trx6, it's pretty straightforward. You just need a 2.0 hex driver and a 2.5 hex driver. So we're going to start by removing the 4 screws for the servo. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to do that with your 2.5 millimeter. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to open our receiver box and unplug the servo. So you're going to use your 2 millimeter here to remove this screw. Then you're going to remove this one and this one for a total of 3. And we might have to remove this one and this one for a total of 5. We'll remove the first 3 and see where we're at that point. Alright, so we were able to just remove those 3 and we got the lid open. And as always, if you look here through your channels on your receiver, channel 1 is always to turn, 2 is always to burn. So ESC is always 2 and your steering and auxiliary are channel 1. So what you're going to do at this step is just basically trace your wire back all the way to your servo. And now we see that it's actually up here on the front as well. So we are going to have to remove those extra 2 screws. Alright, now that we have that lid removed, we just trace our servo wire and kind of just dig through here until we find which one is which. Alright, so we're able to dig through there. We're still pulling. Looks like it's going to be our second one. And then before actually pulling all of it out, just pull on the opposite end and make sure that you're pulling on the right cable, which in this case we are. So now we'll just have to maneuver it out of the receiver box. And obviously my fingers are too big for this, so use something small, smaller hex driver if you have it, a flathead. And there it is. So the next thing you'll want to do, and the final step to removing the servo, is flip over your Trx6. You're going to use your 2.0 hex driver. This link right here is the one coming from the right side of the wheels. It should be the only one connecting to the servo horn. So just go ahead and screw that. There shouldn't be anything under it, just the screw itself. Now we have that loose. Your servo should just drop out like so. And there we have it. That is removing the stock Traxxas 2075X servo. Let's go ahead and install the new 25 kg servo. So now we're going to take the new servo and we're going to put it in place of the old one. So what I like to do in this step before actually installing it back in, I like to just go ahead and plug it in, make sure that it is working. You don't want to do all this work and then it turns out that you have a bad servo. So I'm going to go ahead and hook up a battery to this. We're going to turn it on, make sure your transmitter is on as well. So this is a good step not to skip, because first off you can see if your servo is working. So if you can hear that buzz, that means it's working. It also centers your servo, so we can go ahead and put our servo horn in now, and that way we don't have to worry about putting that in the bottom. And this metal servo horn is pretty easy. It just takes one screw on opposite sides, and that's what causes the compression, and that's what makes it actually stick to the teeth on the servo. Alright, so you're going to use your 2.5 millimeter to put these set screws in back for the servo. Start on this corner, then go to that corner, and then you can finish the other 2. At this point, before I put the receiver box back on, I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and then put the screw back on to the servo. Alright, we have our screw. We can go ahead and give it one more test. Very smooth. Very responsive. At this point we can go ahead and turn off our system. We'll go ahead and unplug our battery from the system as well, and then we'll rerun this cable for the servo. So unfortunately this new servo is not long enough to reach it, so I'm gonna have to use a Servo JST extender, which luckily I did have one. If not, you can order one off of Amazon, eBay. It's just kind of a bummer they give you such a short lead on these. Alright, we're gonna put our lids back on now. Alright, everything is buttoned up, straightened out, and we're just going to give it one last test. There we go. That's simple. So now you're ready to hit the trails, and with more power this time. So happy trailing, and hopefully this helped you out. If you have any questions, as always, please leave them down below. If not, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and hit notifications for the next video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.